Welcome to Tarot Bliss. So, this is another pick a card, and the question is how strongly do they feel for you? So, you have five options here. This is option one, option two, option three, option four, and option five. The timestamps will be in the description box. So, let's proceed with the reading. Okay, the ones who have chosen option one, your cards are these are your messages. So, the first card that you have is the Eight of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Four of Cups, Six of Swords, Queen of Cups, Blessed card, and you have the Co-Create. So, how strongly do they feel for you? I think you have a feeling like this is unrequited love with the Four of Cups. It's like you have a feeling like you love them more than that particular person loves you, because you feel like you cannot get close to them. They do not let you in. You're working really hard, you're showing them your cup of love, like it's very much visible, or you're like outright telling them this is how you feel, or it but then the fact is the other person does not acknowledge your cup of love. Okay, they do not acknowledge your emotions. They are aware of the fact that you have emotions for them, but then they're not letting you in with the Seven of Wands. Okay, so they are someone who does not wear their heart on the sleeve, and it's it's been a struggle. Maybe you're trying your level best, but they have a feeling like you're going to hurt them, and they don't want to feel hurt. And usually it happens. Um, okay, when does this really happen? When someone is scared of being hurt. So maybe when they do have their emotions involved, that's when they have that fear that, okay, I'm going to get hurt. So it can be that the other person also has emotions towards you, but then they're not reflecting it, or they're not acknowledging it. They're not willing to admit that they feel very strongly for you, because you have the Queen of Cups there, and the Queen of Cups usually, this is someone who's putting a lid on their emotions, trying to keep it under control. Because Queen of Cups, I feel like you make them feel emotions that are very foreign to them. You make them feel emotions that are some they're so, it's like they did not expect. You invoke, or you bring about emotions that they've never felt for anyone previously, and because of which, but then they're giving off that vibe like it's unrequited love, it's one-sided, like you're not interested, or they feel like you are not interested. Okay, and how is this particular person handling it? By working really hard with the Eight of Pentacles. Like they have immersed themselves into their work, making sure that they do not. They are not much in contact with other people. They're limiting their contact. They are limiting their circle and just keeping to themselves. They're working on their skills. They're working on their talents and trying to gain more money in life. But then they're still holding on to you with the Four of Pentacles. This is like a holding on energy where you don't want to let go of that particular person. But this is also about holding back. They are holding back from communicating to you. They're holding back from actually opening up themselves to you. And like I said, with the Seven of Wands, like they're not someone who is easy to win over, or they're making it really hard for you. It can be a pull and push game. Okay, or just like, I think you're not in communication right now because there's a blocked energy. Either this particular person is blocking their heart, like not wanting to feel the emotions that you make them feel. And then you have the Four of Cups. Like I told, it can be a no, it can be an unrequited love, a feeling of being rejected, and feeling dejected as well, feeling bored and feeling not satisfied. Okay, and then you have the Six of Swords. You're wanting to, one of you in this connection is wanting to walk away from this, that you're wanting to leave the past behind because it's really hurt you. You've been the person who's willing to give, willing to offer, but then the other person does not want to take it, does not want to acknowledge it. So it's like now you like accepting the truth and moving on in life. And the thing is, you've gained a lot of wisdom through this. It's been an experience, and it's but then it's hard, it's not easy, and you're trying to level up your emotions, trying to take keep trying to make sure that okay, if I do not matter so much to this other person, why do they matter so much to you? Like, you're not showing your emotions, or it can be that the other person is not showing their emotions. One is, how are they tackling this is by working, immersing themselves into work, by being a workaholic, and the other person is like, I'm not going to show you any sort of emotion. Again, there's a lid. So what I feel like, there are deep emotions involved, but the other person does not want to show it. And with the blessed card, if there is no communication right now, either this particular person is dealing things of their own, or if you get involved with them right now, you might not be like, it's going to hurt you even more. So let them deal with their mess by themselves, and then when they have an opportunity, when I'm like, you might probably come together, you might have an opportunity to come together, but then you need to understand that it is a two-way street. Love is a two-way street. So with the co-create, I think you're understanding the fact that one of you has to take up the effort. Like, one has already made the effort, the other person needs to recognize that. They cannot just sit there and like expect things to happen on their own. And with the blessed card, I also have a feeling like one of you strongly feels like you're blessed that you actually met this particular person. Okay, so let's see your cards here. The first card that you have is consuming love. So, definitely strong emotions involved with the Queen of Cups there. And then learn from this experience and move on. The second card, which talks about the fact that you're wanting to move away from this connection and missing you. They miss you, but then they're not showing this to you. And see, you have the other card which says money is important, I'm being practical. So they might give an excuse stating that they're working on their finances so that they can give you a better life, and I wish I had met you sooner. They somewhere feel like maybe because in their past they have dealt with people who are not right for them, and they ended up hurting them, and because of which they are like, I wish I had met you sooner so that I could open my heart the way that you open it, the way that you are so giving. I wish I could give the same back to you. Okay, and you're a winner. Okay, whoever has chosen pile one, you're the winner, whether you were the one who showed your love, or you are the one who's blocked them, or any of these two people, you still are a winner. Okay, so that was your reading, and I hope you get some form of clarity. Thank you. Okay, the ones who chosen option 2, your cards are Eight of Wands, the Hierophant, Strength, Five of Pentacles, the Empress, Yang, Chaos and Conflict. And these are the messages that are there. Okay, we'll read them at the last. Okay, so first thing, how strongly do they feel for you? You have the Empress card here, and the Empress card usually is a very positive card because you are the one for them, like way above their league. You are someone who they admire you for who you are. They just love you because you're simply you. I think the ones who are the Empress oftentimes find it hard because they don't end up loving themselves as much as they give love to others. So, what I feel like, they love the fact that you're so helpful, you're so kind and nurturing and loving, actually. And what I feel with the Empress card, I think the moment this particular person met you, life became rosy, or life became so much more easier or so much more brighter, I feel, with you and with your presence in their life. So you are actually the one there. It's like, the love of their life, because usually the Empress card also talks about unconditional love. So and definitely, I can say for this particular pile that it is true love. But then it's not a easy road down the line, because you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands, it was an instant attraction with you. Like the way that you carry yourself, the way that you dress yourself up. And I think you are in this authority without even knowing. Like you just don't give a damn about what people think. You just embody yourself in a way that people are like smitten by you. People, someone I think very devoted. You have people who are very devoted to you. Okay, and with the Eight of Wands, I can tell you that it was an instant attraction. Maybe you're physically very attractive as a person as well. So that is the Eight of Wands. And with the Five of with the Hierophant, sorry. So the Hierophant usually talks about wanting to commit. So this was not a small fling, because you have the Eight of Wands is like quick and fast moving energy. Like it's like instant attraction, which comes very soon and then it can leave very soon as well. So that is the Eight of Wands. But then because you have the Hierophant, I think the moment they saw you, they got to know you a little. It was instant. The physical attraction came first, but then I think it was like they saw their future with you, with the Hierophant. Okay, they wanted a long-term commitment. They wanted to show you around. They wanted to, like, they wanted you for themselves, because the Hierophant talks about long-term commitment. It talks about like putting a tag on a relationship, like having a status, having like where the society, it is approved by society. So I feel like they wanted to give you that, like give you a commitment, give you marriage, or probably settle down the line. Like they wanted to get married to you. So this particular person, they're in love with you and they want commitment from you. And with the Strength card usually talks about uh, perseverance. Okay, like even if no matter how difficult it is, I think you might be for some reason, I feel like you might be from different backgrounds, or it can happen that you come from different cultures, because of which, or you come from a distance, it can be a long distance relationship, any of these three things, and there's some difficulty in this connection, and because of which, I mean, like there are chances that you would want to drop it, but then this particular person will not do it, because for them you are like, you mean a lot. And with a Strength card, they're willing to strive through it, and they're willing to work through this connection, because they want, because you're the one for them. Okay, and with the Strength card, I also feel like there's an imbalance where they have a feeling like, one of you is taking care of the other person. Either it can be emotionally or financially, or they have a feeling like you're way above their league. You do not they aren't as much capable of you, or they feel like in some way they do not deserve you, with the Strength card. And you have the Five of Pentacles, and because of which I think, like, maybe this particular person does not have enough finances, and that really puts them down, and they're like, how can I give this particular person all the things that I should be giving them? Okay, and maybe in this whole connection there has been moments when one feels really down, or Five of Pentacles usually is not a good energy, because it is a feeling of being unwanted. Okay, so what you have these really beautiful cards, but then I don't know what really happened between the both of you. Either are you in no communication, and is it making you feel really bad about the fact that you're not in communication with the other person, and because of which you are feeling hurt, you're feeling unwanted? Maybe that is one of the things, which, because you should, it is a sense of abandonment. Okay, the Five of Pentacles is like you feel abandoned by the other person. So it can happen that one of you in this connection feels like that, though there's love and though there's other person willing to work, I think both of you might be willing to work this connection out, but then there are certain things, difficulties which are not easy to overcome. But then the strength card usually is a very positive card. It talks about the fact that you're going to overcome anything, and that too with grace. Okay, it's not like you'll have to put your head down. It's like you're going to emerge victorious with the strength card and the empress card. So you have the yang card. One of you, they're trying to manifest you back into their life. They're trying to make sure that they get you back. It's like, I think this particular person must be praying as well. It's sort of like praying to the universe that I want them. I'm keeping my hands open. Okay, I'm keeping my hands open so that I can receive this gift, or I can receive this person back into my life. So they're very much eager to have you back into their lives. And with the chaos and conflict, uh, there's like transformation going on, internal transformation, seeing the person, seeing people for who they are. And also, I feel like internally there's a lot of growth happening. Okay, there's a lot of conflicts that you're overcoming actually. Okay, so maybe in this connection there is some things that I think this connection is transforming for the better. Okay, so the cards say, I don't know what I want. So one of you in this connection, there's love and everything, but then they do not know what do they truly want, and I don't know how to explain this. Maybe this connection is something that they cannot, it is not something. If this particular person is very logical, I feel like they have a hard time figuring things out, like why is this all happening. They're trying to think with their mind. When it comes to matters of the heart, you need to be thinking with your heart, and it's painful to see you with someone else. Even the thought hurts. So they because a sense of abandonment, they do not know if you're with someone else, and they already know that you have a lot of suitors, you have a lot of people who are vying for attention. There are a lot of people who would want to be involved with you. Okay, and you have lost yourself in this connection. What happened? And you have cried obsessed over this shit enough. So definitely, I mean, like, this is the energy of Five of Pentacles, where it's like a sense of not feeling worthy, not feeling enough, like all the bad emotions. It's not a good emotion. Okay, and what you felt was real, so stop justifying it to others and to yourself. Okay, I see you happy down the line. You're going to be quite happy. I think after all, you're the empress. You're going to regain your confidence back. You're going to get back. You're going to just, I think, be back to who you were. Okay, even before meeting this particular person. If you're feeling really down and not feeling yourself, I think you're going to come back to your old self. And yeah, and you're going to be happy down the line, so you don't have to worry. Okay, so that was your reading, and I hope you get some form of clarity. Thank you. Okay, the ones who chosen option 3, the ones who've chosen option 3, okay, your cards are the first card that you have here. You have the Star card, King of Cups, the Chariot, Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, the Sun, and the High Priestess. Then you have Never Ending Story, and then you have Why. Okay, so how strongly does this particular person feel about you? So, with the Star card, you are way above this person's league. I think you came into their life and you've inspired them in such a way, and you see through this particular person like effortlessly. no matter what they try to show to the world, it's like you can see through this particular person and know who they are. Okay, with the high priestess, and that scares them. Okay, because the high priestess talks about a connection which is very strong, almost feels like past life connection, like you've already known each other for so many long years, and this is like again you're meeting them. And when you happen to meet each other, you just, even if they no matter try to put across to you that it's not there and they don't feel like it, and you would, if regarding their emotions, okay, they wouldn't want to show you their emotions, it's like you can see through so easily, and they have that fear, like without me showing anything, this particular person knows me already, and they're not able to put their finger like what is it about this particular person that I feel so drawn to them. And you have this mysterious nature, a mysterious character, or let's just say you don't open up to a lot of people because of which they do not know, they have a hard time figuring you out, okay, with the high priestess. And with the star card, definitely there's like strong love involved, because I think you changed their way, you changed their life in a way that they never expected. It's like you're that one person who came into their life and changed it for the better. And they feel like it was a fated connection. And usually you have that feeling only when someone, changes you or inspires you, or you are connected on such a deep level that you are going to be like, okay, I was meant to meet this particular person. I was meant to actually cross paths with them, because they had to change my life in in so and so way, and we are meant to be together. So this particular person very strongly believes that you were fated to meet each other, and you brought about the happiness. And if prior to that, like, it can happen that it's not like, I wouldn't say that this particular person never knew happiness. That cannot happen, okay? So what I feel like, but then you change their life for the better. You're like the sun that, you're the one. The sun is like, you see, it's like just the one. And if with a star card, it almost seems like you're unreachable, almost seems like you're like a wish fulfillment. I think they probably dreamed about you, dreamed about having a connection like this, and I think when it came into their life, I think they were not ready for it. That is what I can say to you, because you have such wonderful cards. You have the star card, you have the wheel of fortune, and you have the sun card. You make them feel emotions which are like extreme, like really high and really low as well. Like the way you can affect this particular person, I think nobody else can. And at times they question themselves, am I being bipolar? Okay, like because these are like extreme emotions that they feel towards you. And with the King of Cups, this usually talks about like they see your worth, they see your value, okay, with the King of Cups, and deep emotions involved. They understand, usually, King of Cups represents someone who is like a marriage, who is marriage material, and the emotions that they feel towards the other person, it represents like a husband feeling towards a wife, or a wife feeling towards their husband. So it is like a spouse feeling that you would get, like they're mine. So I think this particular person believes that you are meant to be, you're theirs, and you're eventually going to come together for some reason, because it's a never ending story. Like, even if they try to get away from you, they know that they're always going to come back to you. It's they've tried to, I think they've tried to learn the lessons, they've tried to seek like, okay, what is this trying to teach me. They're doing everything that they can to get away, but it's not working out, okay, and they know that the true reason is that their emotions involved, there's heart involved, their heart is involved in this, and they're not able to move from this connection. That is the never ending story. And you have the chariot, you have the queen of swords, and you have the ace of swords. So maybe there was not enough clarity. It was not communicated to the other person how they feel about you. So maybe you never knew how they really felt about you. Okay, maybe it was because usually the king of cups is not someone who would make it quite obvious how they feel about the other person, because the king of cups is like very logical, you can say, to a point where they do not show their emotions. They have a head over their shoulder. It's like that, so with the king of cups, I would say, like, maybe this particular person never showed it to you, but then they actually regard you very highly. Okay, and with the chariot card, they want success with you, they want things to like progress, and but it's not happening as quickly as it should be happening. And you might come from different backgrounds, because you have the black sphinx and the white sphinx. And usually the chariot I associate with confusion, I associate it with opposing forces. So there are like very different forces, like there's heart involved and there's mind involved. So like I think they're not able to figure out like how to wade through this connection, how to move forward, because they definitely want success with the chariot card. And with the queen of swords, one person definitely feels hurt, because usually queen of swords is someone who's very kind and very she's kind and she's actually soft hearted, but then because she's gone through these experiences which have made her hard, and she's like, now she keeps logic above everything else, and she's very clear and set in her ways, like this is what I want and this is what I'm going to have in my life. So you might have probably hurt this particular person, and they might have walked away from you with the queen of swords. And with the ace of swords, there's like clarity, like without even giving you some form of clarity, they have walked away. But because it's like you do not deserve it, I think, because you never showed them your emotions to the other person is like they walked away actually. So overall, I can tell you that there are deep emotions involved. You make them really happy. I think they associate you with optimism, they associate you with positivity, and they associate it with you with everything good that's happened in their life. Okay, you have a sunflower there, you have sunflowers here in the sun card. So definitely, I think they are attracted to you, very strongly attracted. Okay, and I think they have eyes only for you, but then they haven't showed it to you. That's what I have a feeling. And with the Y card, it's like, why are you questioning that they have emotions for you or not? Because you've already moved on in your life, like with the Queen of Swords. So you shouldn't be asking about this particular person. And I feel like certain things, I think you have to just leave it to fate, or it can be like, make sure that if you get into another relationship, do not act by your old, like the old hurt, do not reflect that old hurt into your new relationship. Okay, so your other cards are, you look like a mess. Okay, so I know you're hurt and you wanting to walk away, and you've already walked away, I feel. Okay, focus on yourself, build yourself up. It's time to disconnect, take a break, and you're a closed chapter. So maybe the other person is a closed chapter, but then they feel very strongly for you, and you do not deserve me. And because you're a star and you also represent the sun and the high priestess, I feel you already have a lot of people who are wanting your attention, or you'll have a lot of people who are interested in you. So right now I would say focus on yourself and don't focus on all of these things, like, okay, what do they think of me and all, because I think they've hurt you to a point where you had to walk away, and I think that's not a small thing. Usually people, I think, if they love someone, they still like trying to work it out. They will always try to work it out. So that was your reading, and I hope you get some form of clarity. Thank you. Okay, the ones who have chosen option 4, your cards are, you have the King of Swords, the Fool, the Emperor, Ace of Cups, Page of Swords, No Place Like Home, Mending, Go the Distance, Here and Now, and Higher Power. So, how strongly does this particular person feel for you? I think you've cut them out of your life with the King of Swords, because the King of Swords usually talks about, like, I'm not going to put up with any sort of like bullshit. I want the truth, I want clarity. They're also aloof. Okay, so maybe this particular person was not there for you emotionally because they're very logical. Okay, that is what I feel with the King of Swords and the Page of Swords. So they're very logical. They might have been hurtful towards you. They might have not been there for you when you required them emotionally. But the way they feel towards you is the Fool and the Ace of Cups as well as the Emperor. So with the Fool card, this is like wanting to start anew, wanting a fresh slate. Like, let's forget the past and let's start new, like forget about the past. Okay, and it's like they want to take that leap of faith towards you. They want to I think this connection was fun. Like, one person wanted to settle down and the other person did not want the commitment. They're like a free bird, which represents an air sign. I think you are dealing with someone who has an air sign as well as Aries in their chart. Okay, and a little bit of water element, so they can be any of these three signs where, but I very strongly feel like you're dealing with someone who's an air sign, because you have the King of Swords, the Fool is also an air energy, and the Page of Swords. So all three cards represent that, you know this particular person loves his or her freedom, and they do not want to settle down. They want to just enjoy life. They want to live a minimalistic life where they're not seeking a lot of materialism, or they're not seeking a lot of wealth right now. They just want to have fun along the way. They're wanting happy experiences. Okay, and with you as well, they actually like you and they liked you a lot, but then they're not wanting to settle down. That's the only thing. Okay, there's like, it can be like a crush feeling, but then with the Emperor I have a different feeling, because the Emperor usually either it is the same person or it can be two different people, because the Emperor is someone who's a provider, who wants to give you, they're very protective over you, they want to give you the world, actually, the Emperor. But then the way they show their emotions very much different. They will support you financially. Like, whatever you desire, they're going to give you. They're going to show their love through gifts and, by providing for you. But then when it comes to the emotional side, they're not someone who's like very good with emotions, expressive. So maybe this particular person has a hard time expressing their emotions. And with the Ace of Cups and with the Page of Swords, they haven't been able to let you go. With the Page of Swords, the Page of Swords usually talks about, like, maybe it was a very small thing which put a divide between the both of you, but because both of you did not address this issue, it became like a big thing now. Okay, with the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is also someone who like, maybe they said something which was a little hurtful, and that kind of brought about the divide between the both of you. But then there's Ace of Cups. So Ace of Cups usually talks about new beginnings, and you have the Fool as well. So what I feel like, this particular person very strongly wants a new beginning with you, a fresh start, in a way that, I think they're fantasizing a lot, because you have the Ace of Swords and Page of Swords. So there's like, they're thinking about you a lot right now, and they want this new beginning with you. They want to go on this new journey where, they want to do things right by you, because initially it might have happened that they were not emotionally available, but now they want to be a provider to you, and they want to go on this journey where things are so much more different. They want this to be a new experience for them. Okay, and with the no place like home, they feel very comfortable with you, or let's just say that they miss you so much. And with the no place like home, they also associate you with, like, you feel like home to them. And this usually happens like when you hug someone and you're like, okay, I'm home. It's something like that. I think they have that very strong desire that this is how they would feel with you. So either you cut them out of your life, and now they want a new beginning with you, because they feel like, okay, they want to settle down, they want to give you that, like, they want to have that fun experience as well, and they want to be a provider, and they want you to understand the fact that they're not someone who is like, who opens up about feelings. They have a hard time. Okay, and then with the mending, they want your forgiveness, they want to mend this thing between the both of you. They want to work this out with the mending card. And with the go the distance, like, okay, we can work this out. That is what they want to tell you. Like, we can go through this. This is just a rough patch between the both of us, and we can overcome this difficulty that we have. Okay. And right now it might be difficult, but down the line, you're going to be so much more happy. That is what they believe. Like, now it's like it's going slow, but then after a point of time, it's going to pick up pace. That is what they believe with the go the distance. And with the here and now, they feel stuck. They're feeling stuck because I think that was a very beautiful memory for them, because the fool usually represents moments that are blissful, moments that are imprinted in our mind, and you cannot let that go. Actually, the fool, a very beautiful experience. That is what I feel like with the fool, which cannot match to anything else. So I think that is why, and because below the fool you have the here and now, they're feeling stuck over there and they're wanting to experience the same thing, okay, and they know that they cannot get that from someone else. What they experienced with you, it's like you're the only one who can give them that. And with the higher power talks about a connection which actually had a very strong foundation. You have the emperor as well, and you have the higher power, and you have the number four. The four talks about a strong foundation. So they already know that you both have a very strong foundation, because there's love involved, there's definitely there. But only the thing is, because the one person does not want to commit, who does not want to give that commitment, I think that's the reason it's like, there's some form of clash here. But with the higher power, it usually talks about someone who's like, a connection which goes beyond the unknown. Or, for some reason, you just feel connected to a certain someone. It's just effortless with them. You don't have to force it. It is that form of a connection that you feel towards each other. Okay, then you have, I am heartbroken over you. So they're feeling heartbroken over you. You had a life before them and you have a life after them. Okay, I would say take control of your life. And then I care. So this particular person does care about you. I stop myself from thinking about you. Okay, you are a prize, act like it. Very much necessary. Okay, I would say if they want to come back into your life, make sure that they earn it. Okay, and you're more important. You are important. Put yourself first. And it's complicated. And I want this pain to end. So you not being in their life, or you not, if your relationship has changed in a way that it is not what it was previously, I think they want to get it back to the same place that you both were, and your mind simply mine. Okay, quite possessive. The emperor is someone who's very possessive. And do I ever cross your mind? Maybe because you're not showing this particular person how you are or what you're doing, and because of which they're like, do you even think of me? And then commitment is the issue. Like I told you, commitment is the issue in this connection. So that was your reading, and I hope you got some form of clarity. Thank you. Okay, the ones who have chosen option 5. Okay, your cards are, the first card that you have is the Nine of Swords, Page of Wands, the Hanged Man, the Moon, Four of Swords, Peace, and Fates. 2 minutes. Okay, so this particular person with the Nine of Swords. Okay, how strongly do they feel for you? So, the first, I would talk about the Moon card. There are deep emotions involved, emotions that usually the Moon talks about very strong and emotions which you're not supposed to be feeling, but then you feel them. Like it's almost like forbidden desires. That is the Moon card, okay? And there are secrets involved in this connection, like there are a lot of things hidden. And when I say secrets, does not necessarily always have to be bad, because every card, okay, in tarot represents something positive and represents something negative as well. Okay, so here with the moon card, it can be something positive, it can be something negative. Okay, so there are secrets involved. Either you do not know how this particular person feels about you, or they haven't told you, or it almost seems like, was this even there? Was it even real? Okay, because you have the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords talks about obsessive energy. So this particular person is obsessing over you, obsessing over the thoughts, like their thoughts are just running in their head, and all those moments that you had with them. Okay, it's like either they're just dreaming about you and they're waking up all of a sudden and they're like, you know, they're back to square one. It's something like that. Like they go back to you over and over again. And it's like, it's a repetitive thing. I think you're constantly in their head, and it's just not at a point of time when it is nighttime or it is when they're sleeping. I think you're constantly in their head and they're not able to get you out. And with the Page of Wands, the Page of Wands talks about someone who is like, you know, has a lot of physical desires or is a sort of a player energy. Like they want to explore you. I mean, like, that is what it is. The Page of Wands is someone who's like, you know, attracted to you physically. There's definitely physical attraction here. And but then you do not, like, this is not someone who makes a lot of promises but then they do not keep up those promises. That is the Page of Wands. Okay, and they're also messengers, so you might get some form of message, but then it's like a long wait, because you have the Hangman, the Moon, and the Four of Swords. So definitely not in communication. You're taking a break from them right now. Probably you've not spoken to them for 4 months, or it's close to a year as well, because you have the Hangman and the Moon. So you're not in communication right now. And what I feel with the Hanged Man, you need to see what. If you're not found the clarity that you're looking out for, you're going to find the clarity. Okay, and you're going to see this whole situation from a different viewpoint. You're going to see the positive in this. There's a silver lining to it. You might not recognize it right now, but then later on you're going to be like, okay, this is why they came into my life, this is why I had to go through all of these things. And with the Four of Swords, you wanted peace. Okay, you have like two cards, which is, you have the peace card and you have the Four of Swords, which talks about like wanting to disconnect, wanting to take time out for yourself, because it's like maybe constantly this particular person is thinking about you so constantly that they're like, I just want my answers and want to make peace with the situation. Okay, and they're trying to go through this entire thing in different perspectives. They're trying to see different sides to what really went down between the both of you and why this had to happen the way it happened. Okay, so you have the peace cards, the faith card, but then they feel like they're not in control. They're not able to, they just feel like this is beyond their control and they cannot help but just keep thinking about you, because somewhere they feel like it was fated, it was meant to be, but then what happened? And they're trying to make peace, like they're trying to find their peace, like by understanding or trying to reflect on their actions, reflect on what happened between the both of you. They're trying to somehow overcome this whole thing. Okay, there's something better around the corner. So either you or the other person believes that, there's something better for you out there, and don't let them treat you like a second option. I think you got treated like, there were other things, like this particular person runs behind everything that they fancy or everything that catches their eye. So they are a go-getter actually with the Page of Wands. So maybe they never gave you the commitment that you desired, and you actually don't trust this person. With I kiss and I don't tell, so you are not trusting, you don't have trust in them. And then you have a do not expect this, maybe because I feel like you thought you were not so involved, but then you're realizing that there's a lot of emotions involved, and you're realizing that, there is some form of, like, you feel a connection. Okay, I want to let you go. One of you strongly feels like they have to let you go. And can we start again? Fresh, clean start. Someone wants a they want to start again. And this particular person is slow to commit with the hanged man. Okay. So, why is love so painful? I'm starting to question if it's actually love. So, you have, I regret that I lost you. They regret that they have actually lost you, and I miss you, but I'm not supposed to feel like that nor show it to anyone. So they definitely miss you, like, but then they're not wanting to come out of this player energy, because you have the page of wands and the hangman talks about like things almost stuck. I think one of you in this connection feels stuck. Like there's no forward movement, there's nothing happening, and you're just like, when am I coming out of this? Okay, I have to learn something from this and just like come out of this energy where I don't feel stuck. And you want to make peace with the situation. And you're feeling really heartbroken to an extent because you have the moon as well. There are like a lot of things hidden, things are not coming out in the open air. Like, was it even real? Was it not? You're starting to question all of those things. So, overall, I can tell you, I have a feeling like this particular person is not willing to give up their player ways, but they're really, one person is obsessing and one is like a player. Okay. So, who exactly it is, like either it can be you or the other person who's obsessing and they have deep emotions for you, but one is definitely a player. Okay, so that was your reading and I hope you get some form of clarity. Thank you.